Hello everyone, I am Remy Jonkam Oben, PhD candidate in the Department of Business Administration at Near East University. I present to you our research which we conducted by investigating various determinants of environmental sustainability across different income groups in Africa. As we all know, the United Nations came up with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and one of the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Sustainable Development Goal 13, relates to climate action, and it aims to address issues of global warming and climate change. The primary source of global warming is the emission of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere, and one of the major greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide emissions, carbon dioxide. These greenhouse gases are generally emitted from the burning of fossil fuels for energy generation. In Africa, there are unique sustainability challenges. For instance, the continent relies heavily on the burning of fossil fuels for energy production. There are different development levels and income classifications, and the adoption rates of financial technology and renewable energy varies across the continent. Because of this, it is essential to understand the various determinants of environmental sustainability in Africa amid growing climate concerns. What are the research questions of this study? One of the research questions is, how do financial technology, human development, and renewable energy impact carbon dioxide emissions? The second research question involves investigating how the impacts of these variables vary across different income groups in the continent. In the existing literature, limited studies have examined the financial technology sustainability nexus in Africa. The- There are no there are insufficient studies which analyze these relationships across income groups, and so many studies use different proxies for financial technology, but no study use credit flows as proxy. So therefore, this study is the first study to uniquely combine these variables to employ this unique proxy for financial technology and to make this comparison across income groups, as well as employing the method of moments quantile regression technique. This study employs four research hypotheses. The first one is that financial technology reduces carbon dioxide emissions. The second one, economic growth increases emissions. The third one, human development increases emissions, while the fourth one, renewable energy decreases emissions. 25 African countries were included in the sample due to data availability constraints. Of these 25 countries, 13 of them are lower middle income countries, while 12 of them are low income countries. The study period is from 2013 to 2019. Carbon dioxide emissions are used to proxy environmental sustainability, while the independent variables are financial technology, economic growth, human development, and renewable energy. This study employs a method of moment quantile regression technique which accounts for cross-sectional dependence. It addresses potential heterogeneity and endogeneity problems, and it provides insights across different quantiles of the distribution of the dependent variable, which in this case is carbon dioxide emissions. For the preliminary analysis, we look at the correlation matrix, which shows us the straight line relationship among the variables. We divide the results into panel A and panel B. Panel A is for the lower middle income countries, while panel B is for the low income countries. We notice that in both panels, economic growth has a positive relationship with carbon dioxide. Renewable energy consumption has a negative relationship with carbon dioxide emissions. Human development has a positive relationship with carbon dioxide emissions, while financial technology has a negative relationship with carbon dioxide emissions in terms of their straight line relationships. Now, we perform the test for cross-sectional dependence. And generally, we notice that cross-sectional dependence is present in our panel as revealed by all three tests we performed: Persaran test, Fisher test, and Freeze test. In performing the Persaran panel unit root test, we notice that in panel A, all variables are integrated of order 1, while in panel B, there is a mixed order of integration of the variables. Co-integration results: the Westerlo co-integration test shows us that in both panels A and panels B, the variables have a long-run equilibrium relationship at 10% level of statistical significance. And we have the empirical results here, which shows us the effects of the determinants of environmental sustainability across different quantiles of the distribution of carbon dioxide emissions for both panels A and panels B. This detailed result is summarized in the next slide, which tells us that now this slide shows us the direction, the magnitude, the statistical significance, and the robustness of the results for both panels A and panels B. In panel A, GDP has a positive impact on environmental sustainability. GDP increases carbon dioxide emissions, so it has a negative impact on environmental sustainability in both panels A and panel B. Renewable energy consumption negatively impacts carbon dioxide emission in both panels. Human Development Index has a positive impact on carbon dioxide emission in panel A, but negative impact in panel B. Financial technology has a consistent negative impact on carbon dioxide emissions in both panels A and panels B. Now, in terms of the magnitude with increasing quantiles, the trend of the magnitude, economic growth, that is GDP, the coefficient decreases with increasing quantiles in panel A, but increases with increasing quantiles in panel B. For renewable energy consumption, the coefficient is constant with increasing quantiles in panel A, but decreases with increasing quantiles in panel B. With human development, the coefficient increases with increasing quantiles in panel A, but decreases with increasing quantiles in panel B. And for financial technology, the strength of the coefficient increases with increasing quantiles in both panel A and panel B. So this summarizes the results as explained in the previous slides. So therefore, economic growth increases emissions as countries expand industrial activities. Renewable energy reduces emissions by decreasing fossil fuel dependence. Human development shows complex relationship with emissions. For instance, in lower middle income countries, it consistently increases emissions, but in low income countries, it initially decreases and then later increases emissions. Financial technology improves environmental quality through eco-friendly financial solutions, enhance access to sustainable finance, and greater impact in higher emission scenarios. With respect to policy implications, we suggest that policymakers should promote green growth models that balance economic development with environmental protection. They should implement incentives and policies for transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy. They should raise awareness about environmental impacts and integrate sustainability into national curricula. They should encourage development of eco-friendly financial services, and they should tailor environmental policies to specific resource constraints of different income groups. So those were our results as we presented them. Thank you so much.